Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Voice of Us podcast. I'm King Ironic Glowing Mind here with
24K Logan.
Today we are talking about J. Cole and his overall legacy. He's had a phenomenal year, and I love what he's doing at the end of this year. You know, you got the little Inevitable Voice podcast that he's got going on. 2014 Forest Hills Drive just had his 10-year anniversary. He dropped a deluxe behind that. He also dropped some of his classic mixtapes before he dropped albums.
Yep.
He finally put that on streaming services, and that was cool to see. You're a huge J. Cole fan, so you've been heard him. But for me, it's like, if it's on YouTube, I can listen to it. But if it's on streaming, it really helps. So overall, it was nice to hear that for the first time. You playing songs like Higher, Too Late for the Intro. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, he has a deep catalog. J. Cole, he is the definition of someone who was able to give us a nostalgic feeling, or I guess use nostalgia, his previous catalog, and make that a big moment of 2024. Because for the longest, Friday Night Lights, the warm up, the come up, a lot of people, a lot of music fans, including us, we were waiting for J. Cole to release it onto all streaming platforms, and he finally did that. I didn't expect him to do that this year. I'm very glad he did. And, him releasing those albums on streaming along with Might Delete Later, and I believe that Cole was, based off of technical skill, rhyme schemes, bar for bar, I think he was the best rapper of 2024.
Yes, and in 2025, we got possibly the fall off or It's a Boy. I don't know which one's supposed to come first. Sadly, this broke my heart because I think I saw it before you did, and I was scrolling. I'm like, no. So apparently, it's going to be the fifth and final
Dreamville Fest. Yes,
we
will be there.
Because I really thought it was going to be one of those yearly traditions that we just do it every single year. And then, because I remember last year, he was like, I don't know how many more I got in me. I was like, dang. But I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm thinking, maybe he's just not going to be there in Dream Artists Can Still Go. Well, he said no more. I'm like, dang. So we're hoping that they go out with a bang. That was one of the best days of my life when I went with you. It was just crazy to see all these artists who you listened to for all these years, and then you see them right in front of you. And we had very good positioning. Like, it was like almost like front row.
Yeah, of course. But to shift it back, really about this year for J. Cole, how do you think J. Cole will be remembered for the year 2024? Because a lot of people, it's divided, right? You have half of hip hop, mainly the J. Cole diehard J. Cole fans like us, who we believe J. Cole made the right decision to get out of the beef, considering the aftermath of it and what it turned out to be, something very personal.
Yeah.
You got the other half of people who, while they still acknowledge that J. Cole is one of the greatest rappers of all time, he has a solid, consistent body of work, they felt that was not hip-hop-like, if you will, for him to exit the beef. How do you think he should be remembered for the year 2024?
I mean, as always, like a legend, and he's still good with his community. Yeah, sometimes you pop out in the comment section and there's the occasional comment like, oh man, I used to like J. Cole before he apologized, and it's sitting there like,
it's a bunch of bullshit.
You know what I mean?
Like, just like straight fucking bullshit. Excuse my language. Like, bro, he has one of the greatest catalogs of all time, especially when we're talking about the hip hop genre. He has been arguably the greatest lyricist of the last, if we're talking like active rappers or rappers of this generation, he has been arguably, if not the best. Like, I don't think there's no debating that J. Cole is amongst the 10, 15 greatest lyricists of all time and rappers. And to all of a sudden want to discredit what he has done for the last decade or so, all because he didn't want to get involved between two guys who, turns out, at least what it seems like, they genuinely hate each other. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and it goes a long way. He was on stage and he was talking about like how like all these years he grew closer with God, and how he was like, it won't sit right with the spirit. I'm like, okay, I see what he means by that. Like, he don't want to tear down his brother.
J. Cole made it clear that he would not engage in a battle if it was all about hatred and
Yeah.
or just publicity, trying to get clicks. No, I believe it was in maybe the same year that Born Sinner was released or sometime before that. He was asked, would he get in a rap beef? He said for the competitive spirit and for it being like fun natured, he would do it. But he wouldn't do it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
That's never been his goal. And for the people who says he said he would put your favorite rapper in a chokehold, bro, he was talking lyrically and strictly about hip hop, not about disrespecting the next man,
wife or his children. It's
come on, bro.
Allegations. You know, you seen what Kendrick and Drake had turned out to be.
Yeah.
So
all respect to those guys.
Yeah, you know, maybe he just saw it as a terms of like, dang, I don't want to, you know, because he was just roasting his music or whatever, and it was kind of funny at the time.
Yeah.
But you know, he didn't talk crap about this man but you think about it was Friday Night Lights, and this threw me off because we sitting in the car and I seen the track list next to you, and I saw In the Morning. I was like, yo, he filmed it. He recorded that song that year. I thought it just dropped with the Sideline Story.
No, he recorded it with Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, dang. And he goes way back with these guys. You know, you see some little BTS videos. He was on stage performing with Cole, with Kendrick and Drake in the early 2010s, late 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Drake, you know, he was longtime friends with him. Kendrick, longtime friends with him. I forgot it was on the off season, and he mentioned a song. In the song, he was talking about like how he defended Kendrick's honor, basically, you know, fighting with Sean Combs, and that was just crazy alone to see right there.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah, and you know, you take it. Well, I'm not even gonna get to all that, but you take it for how it is, and then the fact that this man would have fought somebody who he listened to growing up to defend
for Kendrick.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, he loves this man.
A lot of people do not pay attention to that, man. We know it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
I think the real question is, when do we get to fall off? Do we get to fall off in 2025?
Okay, I feel like he is. I feel like he's trying to like build it up or warm up in this case. Sorry. In this case, yeah, if you might just be trying to build it up, you know, and I'm thinking right now, maybe he goes on tour again. Maybe, I don't know. You know, so to perform at shows, and you know, he's dropping little audios about, you know, the old days and stuff, and you know, you see this guy's work ethic, and it's insane when you see how J. Cole talks about it, and he gives a lot of rappers advice about like performing. You know, I just love how he gives people advice. You know, he's been in the game for so long. Or when he dropped 1985 on KOD, you know, people took that as a little pump diss, but when you listen to the lyrics, it was more addressing the younger generation of rappers. You know, like how it's something that he used to love, and now he sees how everybody can just do it, and it aged insanely. That's why I like KOD. It's a personal favorite album. You know, when you see it like that, it's like, dang, this dude really predicted how rap is going to be in a few years. And you see a lot of people rapping, and I'm not knocking anybody down. You know, I mean, music's music. It sounds good. You know, you have your fan base or whatever, but I can tell what he does is more from the heart versus going for money, signing that pen, trying to get the record deals. You know, he really takes time with his craft. You know, he would come home, write a verse, record a verse, go to the studio. I just like how he had this little work ethic, you know what I'm saying? So, very humble artist, you know.
My opinion, I think, I originally was saying I don't think we get fall off until 2026 because you go back to Mike Delete Later on Crocodile Tears when he said, thought I was finished, but I want another 2 summers. And of course, he said that in the spring of this year. So I was thinking he meant that in a literal sense. And if the fall off is going to be his last album, well, 2 more summers would have to be the year 2026. But now I'm thinking it's a much higher chance, a much more significant chance that we get fall off in 2025. I would say maybe summer 2025 or towards the tail end of 2025. He did say at the Madison Square Garden show for the 10-year anniversary of Forest Hills Drive, he was like, hopefully I have some new shit to perform for y'all at Dreamville. I don't think that'd be fall off.
Maybe not.
I think that will be It's a Boy.
Yeah.
If that's still a thing. And he never really continued to talk about that.
Yeah, I haven't noticed.
So,
I noticed that, yeah.
That, I think that is how it'll be. It's a Boy prior to Dreamville, or like maybe a week before Dreamville or the day before Dreamville, something like that. And then later on in the year, we get the Fall Off. And then early 2026, potentially get that tour.
Yeah, and notice how he builds these up. So keep that in mind, how he's building up these two projects. Now then, you got two projects, right? Now, in 7-Minute Drill, I know it's been deleted off from streaming, but there's still the YouTube version, and I'm playing it. You hear that first part, he goes in, and in that second part, when the beat switches, towards the end of the song, he's saying, "I'm fully loaded. I can drop 2 classics right now." When you hear that, it's like, dang, he might be talking about these, and even if they're not ready, he might have something in the vault that's just like, I can drop this right now and it be good, or I can keep working on it and it can be great.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that would be It's a Boy and Fall Off.
Yeah.
For me to cap the video off, I think 2024, when we're talking about J. Cole, unfortunately, you got your casuals. They're going to overshadow J. Cole's consistency in 2024 with him dropping out of the beef. But if you really look at it, you put all bias aside, you think about him dropping a quality project and might delete later, him finally releasing his mixtapes onto streaming platforms, him adding an additional, I believe, 10 songs onto Forest Hills Jive for the deluxe edition, and lyrically, bar for bar, he was one of the best rappers this year. J. Cole was one of the most consistent rappers of 2024. And I am really looking forward to what he's going to do in 2025, because I think we're all in for a special treat.
That seems like a fair place to have a rough, to be in a ballpark at least. Because, hopefully we come back to this video sometime later and we like, oh dang, did this age well? But at least for, the big three, especially Cole, I do think that, this will age well and he will drop more music, and he's still on this feature run. That's crazy.
Exactly.
He is still on the feature run from, 2019. He started 18, yeah, to now. And it's been crazy features, you know what I mean? So, here we are now.
Yep.
But always, guys, I thank you so much for watching these videos, for subscribing. You subscribe. If you made it this far, leave a comment if you like. We got some stuff coming in 2025. I'm not going to say what, but you subscribe, and we got y'all.
We got some very special things in store for y'all in 2025. We might have teased it earlier in the year on the channel. I'm not gonna give too much hints, because they'll go back and be like, oh, that's what they got. But we definitely got something coming for y'all in 2025, so y'all stay tuned. But until next time, peace and love to everybody.